My mom kicked me out at 16 so her new twins could have what they deserve. Last year, she stood in my apartment demanding I pay their college bills. She said, I owed the family I was never allowed to belong to. That was the day I stopped being her backup plan. I was born when she was 20. My bio dad vanished before I could speak. My grandparents carried us while she finished school and became a physical therapist. For a while, she was present bedtime stories, cheap park trips, normal stuff. Then she married my stepdad when I was 11. He was polite, cold, and always calculating. When my twin siblings were born, I became background noise. Looking back, the change was not gradual. It was administrative. Food, money, attention, all reassigned. At 16, they sat me down with a budget spreadsheet like it was a business meeting. He talked numbers. She stared at the table and said, they deserve more. Not, we'll figure this out. Not, you're still my son. I packed a backpack, walked to my grandparents' place, and never slept in that house again. My grandparents gave me safety, not luxury. I worked shifts at a coffee shop, did homework after close, and learned how to stay awake on panic and cheap caffeine. Mom never checked in. In senior year, I asked her to help co-sign college loans. We're saving for the twins' future. We can't help. Sorry. That text hurt worse than getting kicked out. I kept wondering, if I disappeared tomorrow, would she notice by lunch? My aunt stepped in, co-signed, and told me to build a life nobody could take from me. I took that personally. College was brutal. I worked campus jobs, freelanced web design at night, and graduated half exhausted, half furious. My aunt cheered in the front row. My mother wasn't invited. In my late 20s, I climbed into upper management, paid down loans, and kept quiet about money for a reason. Then my aunt mentioned my promotion at a family gathering. A week later, mom and stepdad were at my door. We need help with the twins' college. You have no kids. You can afford it. Family helps family. Mom rolled her eyes like I was late on rent. Stop playing victim. You turned out fine. I laughed because it was either that or explode. Fine. I worked nights through high school. Good, my stepdad said. That pressure made you useful. For a second, the room smelled like burnt coffee from my own kitchen, and I remembered being 16 with a trash bag of clothes at my feet. I asked once quietly why she never called. She said, because I had kids who needed me. That answer burned cleaner than any insult. I said no, calmly at first, then very clearly. My stepdad smirked and said I never mattered anyway. That's when I realized they wanted access, not relationship. I told them to leave or I'd call police, and they finally backed out, cursing me in the hallway. A week later, she came to my office and caused a scene. HR flagged her. Then she waited in my driveway at night, pacing when I pulled in. Her voice was sharp enough to cut through my closed car door. I couldn't tell if she wanted money, control, or just a witness for her rage. Then she lunged for my phone. Next, I stepped back and hit 911. Again, she grabbed my wrist and screamed, I owed her. Then a neighbor shouted, back off him. Next, two people ran over from across the street. Again, she fought them, still trying to reach me. Then sirens washed the block in blue and red. The next morning, I filed a report and got a restraining order started. My grandparents were devastated and finally cut ties with her. Life got quiet after the order was granted. I poured myself into work, friends, and the people who actually showed up. I also gave my aunt a weekend trip she'd always postponed for everyone else. She cried before she finished opening the envelope. Months later, one twin texted from an unknown number. He said he was my brother and wanted to know me, not my money. I expected a setup. Instead, I got a nervous voice, a real apology for what their parents did, and zero excuses. This was the moment I understood something I'd missed for years. My siblings were kids inside the same mess, not the architects of it. We started small calls, then coffee, then honest conversations. I'm still careful, but I'm not closed. My mother lost access to me forever. My brother earned a chance. I built a life without begging for anyone's approval, and I'm keeping it that way.